In a rare move, the United Nations has asked the Western countries to stop increasing interest rates. Why is this happening? Let's take a quick look at how fast interest rates have been rising, for example, in United States. At the beginning of this year, they were near 0%, and today they are between 3 to 3.25%, with another hike coming just around the corner. The United States might end 2022 at the interbanking interest rate being between 4 to 4.25%. Now, on top of that, if you want to think about having a home loan, you have to put at least 3 percentage points, because this is just the interbanking lending rate. On top of that, the bank needs to make some money, so they'll tag on a good 3% on top of it. So you are looking at probably 7 to 7.25% as the interest rate for home loans. Now, home loans are the single biggest engine of driving the United States economy, because once you buy a new house, then you need new furniture, new drapes, you get the idea, new lawn and so on and so forth. And all these things require you to go and buy stuff, and people buy those things, and that starts generating economic activity. And then there is a trickle down to other sectors of the economy also. There is something that the Western countries need to remember, and that is that every percentage point hike in the interest rates results in a hit of 0.5% on the GDP and 0.8% on the GDP of the developing countries. So on the developed countries, it's going to hit 0.5%. On the developing countries, it's going to hit up to 0.8%. All these numbers are given in a link that I'm going to give you as part of the description. So you can read this article in detail. It's from Wall Street Journal, one of the more incisive, in-depth articles. So the United Nations is saying now that, if you keep raising rates so fast, it's going to hurt the third world countries a lot more. Let us look at what is happening for the West. United States, United Kingdom, and Europe, they're all now looking at inflation rates of 10% or above. Most likely it is double that. So when the inflation is running that high, what other tools does the Fed have? Fed, I'm talking about countries' central banks or the Federal Reserve, as in the case of United States. They have nothing else left except they have to keep raising the rates. Now, what is the government going to do? See, this is the monetary policy. The government can do fiscal policy to try and ease the pain. What is the government going to do? Well, the Biden administration tried to bring in so many different plans. All of them are stuck at one place or the other. The infrastructure plan that was supposed to rebuild rail, roads, and things like that, that has gotten stuck. And the student loans also, they are not very happy to forgive those, even the $20,000 or $10,000 amount that they are talking. I mean, students have typically run up debts of $50,000 to $150,000 easily. So the 10,000 also doesn't really make a dent in their outstanding loans. I mean, the average American male or female, when they graduate from a 4-year undergraduate education, if the parents are unable to foot the fees of the kid, you're talking about the kids coming out with a $250,000 loan. And that's at a very high percentage of rate of interest. When do you think they're going to be able to pay that $250,000 loan? On top of that, once they join the workforce, you have the other expenses. Then if you want to start a family, then you need to buy a house. That is, where are they going to get the money for all these things? So this is becoming much more of a complicated problem. And I don't know how, the US is going to solve this problem. And this cuts across party lines. I don't think the Republicans can do a better job than what the Democrats have done. Certainly all the big companies, like for example, the Fortune 500 companies, they don't pay their due share of taxes in the United States, even though the Trump administration brought the corporate tax rate down to 20%. They're still not paying. It used to be 35. Trump was being realistic. He brought it down to 20. Still, Ireland gives you 12%. I think UAE gives even less. Singapore is also very, very less. So people tend to incorporate themselves in other countries, even though the bulk of their work, the bulk of their designs, the bulk of their engineering is in United States. Very strange situation. I don't know when Biden is going to train his guns at that. So we'll leave it at that, but much food for thought for the developed countries. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.